Hey everybody, I'm Will Martin, and in this video, we're going to take a look at a video from a young nurse named Maddie who just put in her 2-week notice, and maybe we can learn a few things from some of the stuff that she's talking about in the video. So let's play it for a little bit, and then we'll stop and we'll kind of unpack a little bit of what we think might be going on with her, okay? Here it goes.
Drinking some coffee, and I just put my 2-week notice in that I am leaving this job. LDRP nurse, labor, delivery, recovery, and postpartum nurse. Get more into why I am leaving and stuff, but I have just been really struggling for a while now, and I think this is what's best for me right now, and it's been really hard. I just drove over to the lake, and I was like, I'm just gonna sit and drink my coffee with my windows down and just kind of just not only decompress from my shift, but also this is like a big decision, and I'm hoping I'm making the right decision, and something that is really going to be hard for me. The main thing that's going to be very hard for me is leaving some of my coworkers who have really absolutely just taken me under their wing, and I cannot say enough good things about that teamwork and how kind and supportive the nurses that I work with are, especially on nights. It's just, I feel so blessed and grateful. Like, I feel like some of the people that I've met at my job are some of like the most amazing people I've ever met, and like I hope one day I can like just be like half of the nurses that they are, because I learn so much from them. I ask so many questions. I ask like so many questions, like every shift, and none of them, I mean, maybe they get annoyed or bothered by it, but at least they don't show it, and they always help me. And even some of the people who are still newer like me, we all help each other in things that we don't know. With the amount of on-call, the amount of, or just working full-time, and then the on-call hours on top of it on night shift is been really hard for me. And
Okay, so let's just stop right there for a moment and talk about she's really set herself up. It sounds like she set herself up for failure because she started in a job that probably is a pretty complex job, working in labor and delivery, and taking care of moms and babies, and there's C-sections and emergency C-sections and all the other things that I can remember from 33 years ago when I was doing my training. And she's a new grad. She's only been working for a year, and she's trying to be at the level of these colleagues, these nurses who have probably been there. Some of them probably been there 10, 15, 20 years. Who knows? She set herself up for that kind of a failure. And where does that come from? I think it comes from the preparation in school, where oftentimes I think you're told I think you're told how wonderful you are, and how you're going to be ready to tackle anything that's thrown at you, and that's not true. What's missing, I think, from a lot of nursing programs is doses of reality checks where you're told, listen, when you graduate, you are as novice as you possibly can be, and the only way you're going to move from there is on your own, doing a lot of learning, a lot of reading, a lot of researching, and getting yourself up to speed on your own. All that nursing school does is it gives you a little bit of a foundation in which to work from. That's it. It does not make you competent in anything. And that's the same thing for nurse practitioner education, even PA education. It gives you the ability to sit for an exam and pass it and get a license. Beyond that, it doesn't qualify you for anything. You're starting at zero when you graduate and you're taking on a new job. The role transition from student to practitioner, from student to bedside nurse, is huge. And I don't think that's impressed upon people enough while they're in school, that, hey, when you get out, things are going to be different. I mean, you are going to be working night shift, and you're going to be working weekends and holidays, and you're going to be working with people who have been doing that job sometimes for decades. And there's personalities involved. There's all kinds of things that school doesn't necessarily prepare you for. And I think this, what's happening with this girl here is that she had every good intention to be a great L&D nurse, but found out that she's just not going to be where she wants to be after 1 year, and it's difficult for her to accept that she is still a rank novice. And that's okay. In my mind, that's expected. That's the way that you should be. She's asking questions. It sounds like her colleagues are answering her questions. She's concerned that she might be bothering them a little too much, but at least they don't say anything about it. So she mentions that, well, all of us younger ones, the new nurses, we all kind of stick together and help each other out, because I think they're all probably struggling. They're all probably trying to find a way to survive in this new environment that's outside of school. So it's, I think, one of the big reasons why we're losing nurses. Our retention rates are so poor because they get into the job, they're kind of thrown in, and then expected to sink or swim, and a lot of them sink. So let's go a little bit further and listen to her some more here.
It's not even, it's my days off of work, because I'm a night person. Like, I can normally stay up until 2, 3 in the morning. Like, even before I did this, like, I've always just been a night person. I feel like my dad's a night person, and he would always stay up and watch movies and stuff, and I think I really got that from him, and we used to stay up and watch stuff with him. So anyway, so I'm not tired, like, during my shifts, like, or when I go in at night. I'm actually, like, more, I feel like I'd be way more sleepier in the morning. I have been trying to, like, hold off and, like, push through and push through and push through, and I feel like just so much pressure. And I think the pressure is what I put on myself, because I just have this fear that I'm disappointing everybody that I work with. I'm disappointing my family, and I think what, like, hits me so hard too is I feel like I'm, like, disappointing all of you guys, and that really it really's been bothering me. So that's really been bothering me because...
Okay, we'll just stop right there. So she's concerned that she's disappointing herself, she's disappointing her friends, her family, and she's disappointing her YouTube crowd. And I think that is understandable for someone who got into the line of work that she's in without truly realizing what it was going to be like. Because if she really did realize what it was going to be like, she probably wouldn't be struggling quite as much. Everybody struggles. I mean, everybody that starts a new job is going to go through this period of time where they're like, oh my God, what did I do? Why didn't I stay doing what I was doing before? And eventually it gets better, though. But in her case, I think she kind of fell prey to this perception that's really pushed on media and social media, that nursing is this fun, life-saving job and heroic, and during COVID, nurses got to put signs in their front yard saying a hero lives here and all this other stuff, and that really made a lot of people buy into a falsehood. What nursing really is it's laborious, it's labor-intensive, hard work. You also have to really be a good critical thinker and problem solver. And it doesn't end, and it doesn't go on your schedule. I mean, you may be tired, and that might be the night that things are the busiest, and you don't have a chance to kind of dial it back. And this is just the way it is. This is the way the business is. And I think it's regardless of what field you go into, whether it's emergency or critical care, labor and delivery, whatever it is, it's all unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to be getting into. Again, schools aren't really preparing students for what is really lying ahead for them.
I just want to be, I don't even know, like, I don't even want to say, like, a role model, because sometimes I'm just, like, a hot mess. I just want to just make you guys feel like you're not alone, and I do not hate nursing at all. I love nursing so much. I'm so happy I did it. And I love labor and delivery. I love it so much. And I love the babies. I love the moms. I love building that relationship with the families. I've learned so much. I'm a completely different person than who I was this time last year. I wouldn't even be able to believe what I'm doing. I'm proud of myself for how far I've come. But I think I'm, like, also a little bit disappointed in myself, because I feel like I'm, like, I don't know, letting myself down in some sense. But I need to just focus on getting some sort of daytime position now so I can be on some sort of schedule. Like, my body just doesn't know when to eat or sleep. Like, I'm down 25 pounds since I've been on nights. Like, I don't hate nursing, and I feel like there's always, like, people are, like, so negative about nursing a lot, and, like, I feel like something that has really, like, kind of stood out for me, which makes me so sad, and like just in myself, is like I feel like I am like just spread so like thin. Like I feel like I just have nothing. I just feel like I have nothing left to give right now, and it's so hard when you want to give like 120%. You want to give like everything you have and more to your patients, and it's like I'm struggling to even take care of myself right now, and it's so hard.
Okay. So that idea of um, lack of fulfillment, like I'm not able to give 120%. Maybe I want to give it, but the system isn't allowing me to. We're understaffed. We're pressed on time. We don't have the ability to do everything that we could do for patients. And that's true. I get that. And I think that she probably feels that to some degree. I also think that she's probably a little too new to really realize where that 120% really could come into play. I think that she's right now still mainly just struggling with the fact that she's had a lot of pressure put upon her through her own expectations, maybe through some of the expectations of her colleagues, and just hasn't really had the preparation, the emotional preparation to do the job that she's signed up to do. So she's she's really starting to fail, and it sounds like, I mean, she's lost weight, she's not eating, even though she was a night person before becoming a nurse. She says now she needs to get on a day shift somewhere. She needs some sort of regularity. And again, something that I don't think you're really prepared for when you're going through school, what it's really going to be like, unless you've already had a job where you've worked nights. And then, of course, you kind of know what you're getting into there. But there's still a lot of unknowns, a lot of variables that nursing school can't prepare you for. And maybe this is something that I can help one person with. If I can, kind of set you up for what is to come. Maybe I can help a little bit. So, all right, let's just listen to her a little bit more here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Hard, sometimes it's just so hard, but it's so like I know everything is going to be worth it in the end, and it's all going to work out how it's supposed to. I know God has a plan for me. And like last night during my shift, I just went into like the nursery and I was doing some charting, and I just put on Green Pastures. It's one of my favorite songs, and I was just like listening to it because I was like, I don't even know if I can get through this shift. Like, just like overwhelming, and not like even just like my assignment load, I was fine, but it was just, I think just everything is like building up, and I'm still trying to process like the fetal demises and stuff I've seen. And then it was really hard this morning too, because I don't think there was only one person who knew that I was putting in my 2 weeks. And so this LPN who she trained me when I was a nurse extern, and I swore she like hated me at first. Like, I think a lot of people there, I don't know, not like hated me, but when I was a nurse extern, I think they just didn't know, because I was kind of nervous and like anxious. Like, they didn't know how I was gonna do. And she had come up to me, months later when I was a nurse, and she said, like, I am so proud of you. You like really surprised me. I don't know if that was like a good thing or a bad thing, but and then she came up to me this morning. I haven't seen her in a minute, and she just gave me a hug, and she's like, I'm so happy to see you. I've heard you've had some really rough shifts, and I'm so sorry. And she's like, I'm like, of course it's, oh, that Maddie had that patient or something. And like, I don't know, I just hate even like sitting here and like I'm crying, but I want to talk to you guys, and I want to be real, and I just want to, like, it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows. That's probably the one thing that she thought it would be, and it's not. It's unfortunate. I think that for what I see the young men and women going through in the emergency department, the young nurses, and most of them are young. We don't have a whole lot of white-haired nurses running around in the emergency department, but I don't think many of them are prepared for what they're going to be doing. And those that do stick with it, I have a lot of respect for them, because they probably all started out like anybody else, like any other normal person, not realizing what they were getting into. But in most cases, they've stuck with it. And I think that's the thing that you have to realize if you're going into school for this, that it's it's tough. It's hard. You're going to see some things that most of the public will never see. You're going to have to be able to process that in a way that's healthy, and you're going to have to learn to take care of yourself at the same time. And school, I don't think, is going to really be there for you to prepare you like maybe it was 20 or 30 years ago. It's just not the same deal as it used to be. So, all right, I'll stop it right here. I appreciate using Maddie's video here, and again, I'll put a link to her YouTube page down in the description so that you can follow her if you wish. If you found anything that we've gone over here helpful, I'm glad. That is really the whole point of me doing this, is to try to help one or two people who might be struggling. Either you're in nursing school or you just graduated and you're on your first job. I hope that this at least lets you know that you're not alone, and that there are other people who understand, including people like me that have been in the business for over 3 decades, that we still go through rough times, and we still put too much pressure on ourselves, and we all have to kind of take a step back once in a while and reassess what's really important and what we're really trying to do. So, all right, thanks for taking a listen to me. Consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. And please, if you have any comments or words of wisdom that you can share with me or with other people, please leave a comment below. And I'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks.